Welcome back to Factorio MSX Gigabase for our Marathon Tech Price SpaceX Extreme. SpaceX Extreme means that everything is much more expensive and we have to do 25 times as many components at each step to get to our end result. And we have currently only done the very first step, which we did way back in about episode 30. We have been focused on building capability and fixing up UPS. At the moment it's looking quite healthy thanks to infinite worker robot cargo size research, which is ramping up fairly quickly now. 245,000. It is 30-second research, but we're not really equipped specially to handle 30-second research, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on when I look at the stats. It says we're doing our 6K per minute, so I guess we are. Although we don't... Let's just turn it on to 1 minute. We don't seem to be producing at 6K per minute. So that's an issue. What happened to purple? Let me have a quick look. Purple science seems to have stopped. You are missing... I thought I actually resolved this, but you're missing... you're about to get a delivery of the furnaces. It looks like these deliveries are not quite keeping pace with the 6K per minute requirement, which is slightly unfortunate. Never mind. Alright, well, we'll look at that later. I'm not going to worry about it just for the moment. Where are we going to go with the worker robot cargo size? Probably, well, we're definitely going to do 11. And then we'll see. I mean, we've started to get good gains, although when I scroll out to map view, it obviously drops off a bit. It'd be nice to be operating in the 40s rather than the 30s. Certainly the 30s are a much better situation than the 20s were, though. What I'm going to do for this exercise, or for this session, is while this ticks over a little bit further, I'm going to fix up. We're getting close to a crisis here at copper 11. We need to move it over and deploy some more miners, because all this side has run out completely. The place where the current platforms are, that is harvestable, but even this side is getting quite thin, so we need to move that over. Over here at iron 8, it's starting to get quite thin. This one here is a little bit of a bugbear. I'd kind of like if this had cleared out at this point, because I've got to make a decision, I guess, where I put the platforms directly over the top, or get them clear so that it can pick up that one. But we need to fix that up as well, so that can completely clear out, which would then free us up to potentially, well, I mean, the other bit of that is this is 10 million though, so this one's actually holding on a lot better. Maybe it needs some more trains down there. Iron 7, how many have you got at the moment? 4. Yeah, you could probably cope with more than 4. There's just congestion. I mean, we could always just cut that one off rather than worry about it at all. Copper 7 up here, and this whole structure needs to be removed. I've just topped up the train and I'm carrying too much stuff, so that might not be the best thing to do first. I guess what we'll do first is we'll attend to these two. Then, because, like as I mentioned in the last episode, this iron 9 here that used to be our big saviour is on its last legs and close to dying off. We need to prepare, and also iron 8 and this other one. Oh, and copper 5 is getting a little bit tight as well, but iron 7. So we need to open up some more supply, and I need to fix this. It doesn't have any construction bots or a nice little place to put the used miners, so we need to supply that. And yeah, press up, I guess, and start harvesting this one. with maybe a couple of dual entry stations. So yeah, let's start here. Let's go to hashtag steel1, which is right there. Let's go there for starters and start sorting out these issues. There's all the ones that I've just mentioned, plus over here we need to wipe out this, all of that, and move this into the middle, and reorganize this one into 2 platforms as well. We haven't actually started, but we can start using this one if there's excess miners in our view going to these places. I don't think there are. And then once we, we'll move that one into the middle. Once we've sorted out those things, I think where we're at, and this needs some construction bots and a chest as well. When we've sorted out those things, we will then start adapting science so that we can get ready for SpaceX science and get on with the whole purpose of building this factory. I don't think it's going to be as, it seems fairly immense, some of the requirements here. If you look at these guys, faster than light, 16 million, but we'll be doing that at 12,000 science per minute. And this one at 12,000 per minute. This one's 2-minute science, but it will be running effectively at 6,000, with these two doing 12,000. So we will get there fairly quickly. That's going to be quite a drain on resources. That's my only issue, I guess. So we'll just have to see how that goes. And yeah, we can see the UPS seems to fluctuate from about 37 to 35. I want to see more of the 37 and less of the 35, thanks. What's it saying here? Entity update 1718. Trains, which we can't do. Speaking of trains, this whole area needs a revamp as well. That might help a little bit. I guess we'll just have to see. That will have to do. What I have on me, I've got more robots than I'm likely to need. I should really create a pathway here, but I guess the thing is, a lot of these constructions are sort of temporary constructions. These things probably are more of a problem than a benefit. Let's get rid of that. Now we have our 2 platform. It can go right in hard there. It could actually go a little higher. I don't know if we need it to. We do need to clear out some of this stuff just up here though. Find that 2 platform again. Yeah, I don't see a problem with going perhaps a little bit higher. No, actually the bulk of it's further down, so maybe the same sort of height is fine. Excuse me a second. Right. That's better. So let's copy over. So this is copper 11, and let's copy the requests from over there. I mean, I guess a lot of what we are actually going to do a lot of what we're actually going to be doing soon is going to be just, you know, keeping ourselves in supply of materials. Not solely, of course. That's one of the beauties of the whole SpaceX thing. We get to have to plan and build all of the components to make the whole thing that much more fun, rather than just, well, now you've got your science set up, keep on going, which is more or less what you do if you're doing just an infinite research base. It's more or less, well, okay, set up your science and then just keep churning it out, which I personally think is probably a little bit tedious, unless, I mean, it was quite fun to a point, our constant exploring of new designs, but we have something more interesting to do, so I'm glad that we can kind of get on with it and do it. Now, what I want to do is basically copy from here to here and then just move it over. I guess I could use a new blueprint, why not? Don't need that stuff. That's what we're going to do. Well, I don't need to keep that for any reason. Let's just throw it away now. Okay, so the idea is these guys will exhaust all of their... are you still ordering? Why are you still ordering? That very well, did I? So yeah, the idea is that they just exhaust all of these boxes, all the deliveries that have been set up in the logistic manager are completed, and 15k, and there's some left. That's really annoying. How much is in there? More than I want to carry, but I guess I could carry that. So now what I want to do is well, I want this guy to be able to fill up, so let's drive him out. On the wrong side of the track, so we just have to keep a wary eye here. Hopefully it will choose the new copper 11. I'll find out very soon. Yes, it is. So I can just get out. I will actually just get rid of these train stops now. I've served their purpose. I will have to manually move that stuff, but that'll be fine. So this train, likewise, same sort of treatment, but we'll have to wait for this one to go through. This other one must be getting pretty close to full. There we go. Jump on board this guy. To manual mode. We need to go that way, don't we? Yep. Just make sure nothing's coming. And head to copper 11. And now we can just rip up all of this stuff and lay down some more miners, which it does seem we need fairly desperately. All of this stuff. And all of that. Oh, we've picked up a large number of bots. It's not charged at the moment. Now it is. Okay. There we go. I now have some space, and we actually can probably take away a bunch of these bots. They don't serve any great purpose anymore. It's just the 2 pattern. Do I still have my elongated pattern? I've gone through so many iterations of what I'm carrying that it's fairly likely that I don't. Alright, you need to go like this. 1. Oh, that's not going to work the way I want it to. Pick yourselves up. Let's try that again. So, it's like that. Two, and get to that bit. Now, this area at the top here, if we're to coal this successfully, we probably need to start now-ish. There. And oh, none of those are powered for some reason. No, it doesn't power them all. Right, that's better. So that is 1, 2, and going down there covers the bottom. Oh, are you powered? Is that what the problem is? No power? There we go. Get rid of the rails. $16K, $16K, why can't you get out? Because this here. Okay. Just need to tidy up the rails like we always have to do. That should be sufficient. Now I probably have absolutely tons of miners now that we've done all of that. So I guess what we could do is, it's only got one construction bot, that's not good. Let's increase the number of construction bots and make sure I've got somewhere to put stuff, and give it a few extra medium poles, so we can do this remotely, build this side out remotely when we need to. As you can see, a lot of these things aren't doing a whole lot, so there's no need to do anything more than that. I think we'll call that quits for now. Oh, do I want to reinstate this slot? How many bots do we have here now? 800. We don't need 800 bots here. We could probably do with a lot less now. In fact, maybe I will even try and grab a few. Whoops, that's the wrong direction. 700. It's going to make no difference. Okay, that's one of our objectives down. Let's look at another of the fairly simple objectives, which is this one over here. A bit of luck. No, it's still going strong. How far? 7,500. So all of that time was only enough to get rid of about 1,000, unfortunately. Let's get rid of all of those to start with. And well, we can get quite close. I guess we could live with that, because most of the iron will actually get picked up, or we can just go there. Let's just go there. Whoops, I moved it over one at the last minute, so that's the final resting place after all. You can come up. We'll sort you out very soon. Fill in this hole. So it's basically the same idea. We will zero the requests here. So that the boxes end up getting cleared. And as soon as they're all completely clear, we will redirect them to this alternate platform. Now, I don't need that. You can be that chunk of stuff, except we'll get rid of this because we don't need to replace that. And you can go like so. And down here we'll set the train names to our new platform. You need something. There you go. They're all empty. What about here? It's not going to empty this time. That's alright. All the rest of these ones are empty. So what we'll do is once again set you to manual. Make sure there is nothing else coming down here just at this second. Get back behind this line. And let's go back to automatic. Hopefully that will send us down this closer one. It does. And as far as this other one goes, actually I'm going to eliminate the stops from here. We don't need any more trains wanting to join them down here. Move this guy out of the way. Stop. And you can go to iron 8 when you're able to. And now we can rip up this area. And with a bit of luck, what's in there? Quite a lot of stuff actually. So we may get an excessive amount of something. An excessive amount of something. That's very descriptive of me, isn't it? Let's just get rid of this stuff. We need to replace a radar. That will be easier enough. It looks like we need a new why are we having trouble here, guys? We've got nowhere to put anything. Alright. I guess that's trying to tell us it's time to lay down some more miners here. All these guys are out of the zone right now. Well, we need to put them back in the zone, so let's try and do that. There we go, they're back in, and our mining pattern. Whoops. Let me get rid of medium poles down here because they're in the way. Okay, that did exactly the opposite of what I actually wanted it to do. Because it's on blacklist. I don't want it on blacklist, I want it on whitelist. Get rid of those. Oh, I've got rid of everything there now. Oh well, never mind. Back to the pattern. So these guys are actually oriented this way. I guess we can make use of that and continue that. that absolutely everywhere covered now? I think so. I think that has covered absolutely everything here. So how many bots do we have? 482. That should be absolutely fine. I don't see any reason to need more than that. This thing here, get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. What's in there? Some stuff I don't have any capacity to take at the moment. And some excess over there. Do we have any construction bots here? We do not. Alright, so the next thing we need to do is allocate some construction bots, give them somewhere to dump stuff. Actually, they've probably got things that's in the zone. And yeah, that is pretty much a wrap. We can leave that one to its own devices, and oh no, we need to tidy this bit of mess up as well. Just quickly. Yeah, that's all connected. I'm not going to worry about getting the wires, the red and green, connected. We're not using them here, and this is this whole outpost is not going to be long for this world. It's pretty low. What have we got? 3.2 million. They'll be ripped off very quickly. So probably the last thing that we kind of have time for is drive this up here. We might need landfill. We have a little bit of landfill. Maybe we can get away with what we have, because that would be useful. It would certainly save me. Oh, two things I want to deal with. Why do you not reach? And let's get rid of that one. Okay, you reach now. Now, we're back here. Okay. Head back, try and cross here. Yeah, that was nice. Nicely done. Worker robot cargo size 10 is almost done. Very good to see. Now we want to head up to iron 27. So is that one of the things here? Copper 10 has gone. Get rid of it. Iron 27. Not on the list, never mind. Let's add it in here. Iron 27. Until circuit condition, let's go. Because I don't want to try and drive up through all of this mess and across here. So I'll let these guys do it. And yes, this is a, there's a bit of a range to cross to there, but it basically means we won't have to touch that. We won't have to touch that patch again. It'll just clean itself out. And you can see here the bit that it was still working on. There is a little bit under here that is part of that, but if it misses a tiny bit like that, I'm not going to care that much. Right, this is a bit of a dicey situation. Oh, this is another thing that we probably should attend to. I might need to tweak the total amount of steel that's getting produced, possibly even a little bit more. Let's Let's have a look at our requests. Open requests. Still over the page. Copper, iron. There's a couple of iron still. So even with all that we've done to increase iron, we are still getting shortages at times of iron. And copper could be more. Green circuits is way down at the moment. 95,000 plastic. It's very serious. We're still consuming at full whack, which is why this seems to be finishing pretty quickly. Pretty happy about that. Where are we on this list? We are not too badly. Just past here. Let's go to manual mode. I will drive just past here. We will extend this up, but before we do, let's just run over and sort out this mine. So we have no construction bots here at all, and so of course they're giving me their stuff. You now have 20 bots you can call your own, and you have somewhere to put their discarded stuff. Very good. That should be able to cope. The volumes this is dealing with adequately. And as it exhausts miners, we can probably add, you know, in here and here for a short while to starve off when we need to do anything else. That's a fairly new one, so it won't need anything for a short while. Now, let us come up here. I might see if I can put some of these bots in here. There we go, so we've got a little bit of space. The other thing is to switch over to our building armor and to clear the trees on the tracks. It's always nice to have nice clear tracks. And we're going to want to clear our path ahead as well. There we go. Jump on board the train so that the train will be using its energy, not ours, to cart us around. And up we go. New territories. Well, I've known about it for a very long period of time, from quite early in the game's playthrough actually. Just by virtue of working out where we'd potentially go next, because it was inevitable that what I could see was going to exhaust at some point. But yeah, here we go. And at semi-decent UPS, instead of low 20s when we're building, it's sort of low 30s, and that is a lot better. Let's just cover up enough if we can, and we can. That's awesome. We don't need to get the landfill train. Jump on board. We're almost there. That's our destination, so it's not terribly much further. Certainly the fast bots help. I think we got up to level 15 research. We're very shortly going to see the impact of cargo, worker robot cargo size 10. Of course, these effects are more or less instant. Keep going with the rails. At the moment they're all that's making space for all of the stupid wood. We also pick up quite a lot of stone that gets recycled in our Make Everything factory. So I have barely needed to ever tap the stone patch that the Make Everything factory has lined up for when it needs stone for making rails and so on, but it's just not getting called on because there you have it. Did we notice a nice spike upwards? Or is it because we're building we didn't really notice anything? Let's just let this finish and we'll go and have a look at worker robot cargo size 11. 36. 37. Is it getting any better than it was previously? Hard to say. Alright, so the next one is 611,000. This one will get us to a point where our bots deliver a full stack inserter swings worth of cargo each time they move, which is pretty good really. But not necessarily a stopping point. There's no particular reason why we have to stop there. Now up here there's iron everywhere. We probably at some point just want to fill this lake in, and maybe some of these other silly little lakes. They're just in the way really, and this is, you know, we can start tapping these things as all of our future requirement sort of right there and then. The landfill's not going anywhere. Actually, where is the landfill train right now? Ah, right, it's in that location. Well, it doesn't really need to be there. Let's just delete that. Bring it home, let it retop. Refill. So, yeah, what are we going to do with this guy? I could basically have two lots of 2 coming off it. One up here and one down here, and that will keep the wolf from the doors as these other patches die. I mean, this one is actually going to die really soon. Kind of handy that the rubbish is there. We'll use the rubbish to tidy it up. But yeah, I think that's probably all we've got time for. Worker robot cargo speed 10 done. Worker robot cargo speed 11 underway. It went up by about a factor of 3, so I guess the next one is probably about 2 million, which I guess is doable, but we're starting to get to a point where we wouldn't want to go too much further, so yeah, we'll just have to see where we get to with all these little projects. Anyway, thanks for joining me for this one. I'm getting excited that we're actually going to start getting on with our objectives. Hope you are too. Looking forward to seeing you in the next. Bye bye for now.